How we doing? I am your host, Robert T. Gardner Jr., also known as Dr. Rob. Welcome to Station BOB, and let me tell you a little about thee. I am a kid from a Harlem hood who turned out good. I got educated like I should. Now I know how to help you grow to become the best of your being in life, love, and work. With that said, I am here to provide you with some clarity associated with the perplexity of the challenges in your life, love, and work. So, without further ado, let's get down on it. Enjoy the show. Yes. How you doing? Welcome once again, my friend, to Station BOB, where you listen to learn how to become the best of your being in life, love, and work. And of course, I am your mostest, the host, Dr. Rob. What is going on? How you doing? How you feeling? Are you believing? When I say, are you believing, I mean, do you just believe that everything's going to be all right? Hey, I think we should be there. Let's go there. Let's just go straight to believing that everything is going to be all right. You feel me? All right. With that said, today I think I have another great topic to share with you. And hopefully, I should say, you have an open mind and you're ready for this next topic. And today's topic is, if you are married, can you love two people at the same time? Yes, I said it. Now, I'm sure, on the surface, some of you might say, yeah, of course I can love two people at the same time. I'm doing that right now. But you are not really hearing me when I say, can you really love two people at the same time? Because you see, love is not about what you say. Love is about what you do. And so that is where the issue comes in. I'll talk more about that as we proceed. Okay, so let's get down on it. If married, can you love two people at the same time? What a question to ask. And so, as I said, I believe many people would say yes to that question because it sounds like an easy thing to do. But, B-U-T, I beg to differ. If that is the case, like where you think it is easy to love two people, and I would even say that it's impossible to do, and you're going to learn why. I'm going to learn you why I'd say it's impossible to do, because remember, love for me is not about what you say, it's what you do. And I'm going to tell you why in just a few. But first, before we go any further, we should try to define what is love? Because for many people, there are different definitions of the word love. And if we hold ourselves to the standard of the definition of love to have many perspectives or many definitions, then we will not come up with a clear answer or a clear definition, and we will not be able to answer this question. If married, can you love two people at the same time? And so think about that. Say you are the person who is married and you believe that you can love two people at the same time. Well, before I go any further, as I said, let's just take the time to come up with a consensus on what the definition of love will be. And of course, I will provide a few perspectives specifically 3, and then we will decide what the consensus definition is for love. Since you guys are not here in the studio to participate in this decision-making process, then, of course, I will handle this. And hopefully you all are cool with this, especially since you have no choice in the matter. You feel me? All right. So let's keep it moving. Let's consider 3 sources to define love. The first, of course, will come from the dictionary, which defines love as love is an intense, deep affection for another. Love has many other senses. This is probably where we get, where it makes it hard to come up with like just a straight line to a definition of love, to say that love has many other senses. You have love languages. You have, people, we all have our own idea of what love is. But that's why you listen to this show, so that you can find out what love really is. You feel me? And so the dictionary also says that love can be, work both as a verb and a noun. A verb and a noun. Just want to be clear with the enunciation on that. And so I like that, because I believe that love in and of itself is more like a verb, and that a verb is an action. And I believe the same is true for love, that love is an action. And as I said, I will explain that more in a few when I get to the third source for a definition of the word love. Okay? And so next, we will talk about what the Bible says about the definition of the word love. And so let's get right to it. In 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, love is defined as being kind, not boastful, not envious or dishonoring. The Bible also says that love is not easily angered. Love does not hold grudges, and love rejoices in the truth. Further, the Bible states that love also protects, trusts, hopes, and perseveres, and it never ends. Now, that one I don't know about. Personally, I've ended some loves. I have definitely ended some loves. Okay? So now, there is a lot of stuff there about love. But what I take away from all of that is that love is supposed to be good. You feel me? What you say to that? Love is supposed to be good or not? And I also take away from that you're not supposed to hurt anyone in the process. I mean, what you say to that? Okay, thank you. I'm feeling that, and I will touch on that some more as well. And in the upcoming third source, in terms of what the definition of love is. And so, which case, let me just jump right in on that right now. I will provide for you how Dr. Rob defines love. But, B-U-T, before I do that, I'm going to step aside and let a promo in, and we will pick up this discussion on the other side.
Have you read any good books lately? Your host, Robert T. Gardner Jr., also known as Dr. Rob, is the author of 3 great books. In his first book, The Choices We Make, Robert takes a look at relationships to help readers learn how to have a good relationship with themselves before they can have good relationships with others. In his second book, Access Denied, Robert brings an eye-opening perspective about what happens to children and fathers when their relationships with the mothers of their children end on bad terms. Robert explores what he calls child porn, when a parent, usually the mother, uses a child as a weapon to hurt the other parent. Robert provides a Let Go lab in his book to help parents find positive ways to resolve their issues in the best interest of their children. Light Up Your Life is Robert's latest book. Robert writes about the fact that we are all born with a special God-given talent. Even though we are all born with a special talent, most of us miss our true calling. In this book, you will learn how to find your special talent and light up your life so that you can become the person you were born to be and live a more fulfilled, purpose-driven life. Books are available at barnesandnobles.com, amazon.com, and Robert's website, relationshipreadiness.org. Thank you, and back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And yes, indeed, if you want a good thing to do, then of course you want to jump on one of my books. You can go to my website also, relationshipreadiness.org. Click publications, and there you will see and find my 3 dynamic, engaging books. Okay, on that note, before we jump back in on how Dr. Rob would define love, I just want to take a moment to see if I can generate some laughter. And this is the time for corny dad jokes. I am a dad. Now, my jokes are usually not corny, but for the sake of it, that's the trend to talk about, to tell a corny dad joke. So let me see how you feel in this one. Are you feeling this one? Here we go. The child refused to take a nap, and she was found guilty of resisting arrest. What you say to that? I think that was funny. Okay, well, I'm so glad that you agree with me. I am a funny guy too. You feel me? Okay, so let's keep it moving. Now we're gonna talk about how Dr. Rob defines love. Okay, and this is ultimately the consensus definition that we will use for the purposes of this podcast. You feel me? Okay, so let's keep it moving. With regard to my definition of love, which I believe is the most relevant of the 3 choices. That's right, I said it. Even more relevant than the way the Bible defines love, because this definition is the real life experience of what the definition of love, if you will. And so I define love as being an action, something you do on a consistent basis to demonstrate your love for another person. And also, I believe that love is defined not just as another word, or a noun as previously stated, but love is not supposed to hurt. And so, what do you think about that? Well, this is how I am defining love for the purposes of this podcast. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you are married, right? If you are married and in your mind, you might believe that you can love 2 people because you might have had a fling before you got married, and then the fling is still a thing during your current marriage. So you loving the fling and the wifey thing, if you will. Okay. So this might give you, the notion that you can love two people. But again, right? Think about this. If you are married to one of those 2 people and that the married your spouse believes that they can trust you to do the right thing by them, by not cheating, not beating on them, and showing them as your mate at all the right times in all the right places. Because see, the standard by which we view love for this podcast, as I am saying, is that love is an action, not a word. And love is not supposed to hurt. So with that said, how can you love two people if one of those individuals is getting hurt in the process? So you might think you're loving two people because you're on the offense, if you will. You're moving between two men or two women or two other people, however you love. But B-U-T, if one of those two people, preferably your spouse or hopefully your spouse, if that person is getting hurt in the process, then that's not love. Although you think you're loving them, you're showing up on time, you're doing the things you have to do, but they know that you're cheating on them. And unless your marriage is consensual to, is it polygamy? Is that the word for that? Like more than one wife? That's where I'm going with that. Unless, that's the understanding, then that's different. But if it's the standard understanding of what marriage and love should be, that I'm married to you, and the fling that I had prior to marrying you, whether it be male, female, or otherwise, if that's what I'm doing, then I'm not loving two people. I might be loving one, but I am hurting the second person. And so that is why I'm saying, like, how can you love two people if one of those individuals is getting hurt in the process? So what do I mean by that? In other words, if you are loving another person while you are married to your spouse, husband or wife, or otherwise, who is expecting and trusting that you are loving them exclusively, if not, then of course your spouse might be heartbroken in the process, or along the way, to find out you are also loving another person. Therefore, as I have said, my definition of love means love is an action, not a word, and it is not supposed to hurt. So if your actions don't demonstrate love, not only are you not loving me, but you're also hurting me. And love is not supposed to hurt. So if you are in the act of not showing loving actions to your spouse because you love someone else, and that person is feeling, the good vibes of your love, if you will, then because you're loving someone else, your spouse may be seriously hurt in the process. And so I would have to say the answer to the question of if married, can you love two people? I would have to give a resounding no to that. What say you to that? What say you to that? I hope you say, because if you say, then we need to talk. We really need to talk, because I think it's clear. If you're loving two people, or you think you are loving two people, and one of the two, meaning your spouse, man or woman, is is getting hurt in the process, then you don't have love, you have pain. You cannot be married and love two people if your spouse gets hurt in the process, because that person is not being loved, nor is that person feeling loved, as they are hurting by the fact that you are loving someone else. And so, this reminds me of a song years ago. I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, a song by the lovely Toni Braxton entitled, "Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night." That's right. That right there, love should have brought you home last night. That says that love is an action, not a word. Love is something you demonstrate to show your mate how much you love them, if he or she is hurt in the process. That is not love, ladies and gentlemen. That is pain. That's right, I said it. And on that note, I'm going to leave it right there for you to ponder, to think about what we just talked about. And hopefully that clears up the question for you. Of course, you do what you think is best for you. Who am I to tell you? I'm just saying that it is hard to love two people if one of the two people is getting hurt by what you are doing. So until we meet again, my friend, stay up, stay close, and stay tuned to Station BOB. I'll talk to you later. Peace. As we wrap up this show, I hope this topic helped you to grow. And now you know a little bit more than you knew before. If you have any questions about this topic, please email me at changeagentrtg@gmail.com. See my website, relationshipreadiness.org, to learn more about my counseling, consulting, and educational programs related to life, love, and work. Finally, in the words of the late, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. Until we meet again, do the right thing when nobody is looking. Peace, beloved.